Hi, I'm Linda Cullen, CraftyStampin.com. Welcome to my Multicultural Day presentation. So I'm doing Ireland. Well, I'm doing Irish step dancing. So I'm kind of really bringing it right down to this little piece. So my name's Linda Cullen. You might think, Irish girl. No. So I was born Linda Stevens, and I always was told that we were English and Scottish, a few other little things mixed in, but not Irish. Well, Ancestry DNA has proven that I am 24% Irish. Didn't know. My husband, Cullen, Sean Cullen, don't get more Irish than that. Both his family and my family, our families have been here for generations. We're quite homogenized. And we didn't have any traditions that were handed down in our families. So when my daughter wanted to take dance lessons, I showed her some Irish step dancing, and she's like, "Oh, that's what I want to do." So we kind of brought some Irish culture into our family that hopefully maybe will stick around and continue on. So that's how I thought I would do my presentation, was really just kind of on Irish step dancing. So this is the card we are going to be doing today. This features more or less my daughter in her Irish step uniform. It features her Celtic knot that her troupe uses, and a proverb of Irish. Irish have a lot of proverbs. This one is just the simplest one: is if you're lucky enough to be Irish, you're lucky enough. So, here we go. So this is my daughter. She has been doing it for 8 years. This is the first 7 years in which she has been dancing. We would do a big show, we call it, every year, where all the dancers in the whole troupe would perform. And the first few years, they wear a very simple uniform. And from year 3 up, they get a velvet dress. And that is a handmade velvet dress. And we always take a picture. So this ends with 2019. It happened to be the last thing we did in 2019 before the world locked down. So I don't have one from 2021, but this is our performance dress. This is the knot. This is the Celtic knot that her troupe uses. And it is embroidered on the chest and on the skirt of her dress. And that is hand embroidered. I hand embroidered that. Celtic knots, most of them are based from the Book of Kells, and the Book of Kells is an illustrated Bible from the 1800s. It's got the first 4 Gospels, the first four Gospels of the New Testament, and that's where most of the knots come from. But knots go back quite far in time. The Irish step costume. The first picture on the left is from a championship couple from an Irish dance competition, and they are wearing their competition uniforms from 1960s. And then the next picture over is kind of what they've developed into. So if you see competitive Irish step dancing, this might be what you see: the very beaded floral short dresses with wigs and spray tans. That is not the troupe that my daughter belongs to. Her troupe is non-competitive, and they stick to a more traditional dress, very similar to what was done in the 1960s. The Irish step has 2 shoes that they wear. They have a soft shoe called a gilly, kind of like a ballet slipper that laces up. And they have a hard shoe that has a fiberglass tip, which makes that loud noise that you'll hear when they dance. And like I said, my daughter's troupe is not competitive, so they do not go to feshes, and they don't compete. Around November, we have a big show where all of them, probably 70 plus, will perform, show everything they've learned. We then travel around to elementary schools and senior centers and St. Patrick's Day dinners and breakfasts at senior council of aging groups and churches. And they perform and they educate and they entertain on Irish heritage and Irish step dancing. That is the brief little history I have on Irish step dancing. And if you wait till the very end, I will show you a performance. But let's make this card. Okay, so we are using, to do this, this is retiring. So this is a get it soon before it goes away type of thing. This is in the January to June mini catalog, and it's the Hey Girlfriend, and we are taking this girl right here. And as soon as I saw her, I'm like, that's my Irish step dancer. So we're going to change her into an Irish step dancer, and we're going to fussy cut her out. I've done all the fussy cutting already. Also, we're going to use I've the same knot that is in my daughter's team, and I'm wearing the team t-shirt. There is a downloadable PDF with all the some details from all the presentations. This is available if you want to use it and recreate this card. So I have a large one and I have a couple really small ones so that I can put them on the dress. So there's that. So that's what we're going to use. I've already done all the fussy cutting just to save us a little time. So let's start. So I have my card base, and this is in basic black. So I'm trying to replicate the black velvet dress that I showed you. And I have another panel of basic black. And this one I'm going to emboss. And I'm going to emboss it with the Tasteful Textures 3D embossing folder. My goal kind of to add like maybe the texture like the velvet dress would have. So pull over my big shot. Pull you out a smidge. And so because I'm using a 3D folder, I'm having just my base plate, so my number 1 plate. And I have my embossing folder, my cardstock panel that I'm going to stick in here. Place that in, oops, using my gray number 4 plate on top. We're going to run that through. Plate, base plate 1. I need my extension panel 2, two cutting plates. So I have, this is the rectangle stitch framelits, and I'm using the 2 largest from over here. And my largest one, I'm using, this is the new gold that's in the new annual catalog. I'll run this through. Hold on, making a mess. All right. So this takes a little peeling to get out. There we go. And then I'm taking the second largest one over here, and this is shaded spruce. So I chose to use shaded spruce for my green, for my Irish green. As my daughter's dance teacher will tell you, Ireland has all the colors of green. So any color of green will count for Irish green. The hills are all different colors of green. All right, so here's that. I think that's all I need. Yes, okay. That's, I think, all the big shot work, or big boss, stamp cut and boss machine. There we go. Okay, so we'll put some panels together. So this is the DSP of all the different colors. This one comes from the Regal, and I'm using this for, this is the shaded spruce, and I'm going to add just a little color back here. So we're going to attach this with, here we go, seal, advance. There we go. And I'm gonna wait. All right. So this is the gold. And I attach that with the seal to, this is the embossed panel. Stick that right there. All right. And so I'm gonna stop for right now. I want to color my Irish Step Girl. So I stamped her in advance in Memento ink. Pull you in. So I'm going to color her with my blends. So I'm going to start with her skin. Oh, first, you know what I'm going to do? So this is the Stampin' Right marker. This is a journaling marker. I believe it's still in. If not, you can use the black marker. And I'm going to adjust. So you can see her dress is sleeveless with a V. We're gonna do a little altering, and I'm gonna draw a line, and I'm gonna make it a round neck. Okay. Then I'm going to put gillies on her. But let me see, I'm gonna actually wait. I'm gonna color, let's color her legs first, and then I'll change the shoes to look like gillies. So I'm using light petal pink for her, because if you notice, my daughter is quite pale in skin tone. She's got that true Irish pale skin and red hair. Okay, so now, oops, make sure I got the foot. I am going to add gillies. So the gillies had the crosses, like the laces that stitch up. So I'm just going to make little X's and then a line. My daughter's team wears socks, but I decided I wasn't going to attempt to make socks. I was just going to make the gillies on the barefoot. Okay, so there's my altering of her feet. So she has gillies, and I made a neck for her outfit. So now I'm just going to color the neck and the face with the same petal pink. Making sure not to color the eyes. I would like all around to stay white. Okay. Then my daughter has big blue eyes, so I'm using Balmy Blue. And I'm going to start with Balmy Blue Dark. And I'm going to do from the center where the pupil would be towards the nose as the dark blue. And then I'm taking Balmy Blue Light, and I'm doing from the center of the eyeball out on both eyes. Okay, so there are our blue eyes. Baby's got blue eyes. Was that Elton John? And then I'm going to use Light Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to do her lips. Okay. So for her red hair, I am using, all right, here we go. I have light, here we go. I have light and dark pumpkin pie, and I have dark calypso coral. I'm going to start with light pumpkin pie, and I'm going to color all her hair. So this is kind of like the base color of her hair. Okay. Now I'm going to take dark calypso coral. I'm going to kind of do the dark, what would be the shadow, like under here, under your neck and what have you. Maybe around the face a little smidge. Okay. And now I'm going to use the dark pumpkin pie and add like the darker red into the hair. But I'm only going to kind of do little swirls. Maybe a little darker where the headband hits. And I just keep going until I think it looks like a redhead. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna color the headband and flower with the shaded spruce, light and dark. I'm gonna start with the light, color everything with the light. Okay. Now I'm going to take the dark and add like shadow the ends of the headband. And then on the inside of like with the flower petals. And now I'm going to take the light again and just kind of blend the light into the dark. Okay, so there is her bright green headband. So now we're going to do a dress. So for this, I'm using basic black, light, and dark. I'm going to start with the light. I'm going to color everything with the light. Now remember, I am ignoring the fact that it's supposed to be a sleeveless V-neck. Okay, so now I'm going to take the black and we'll add a little bit to that. My goal is to try and hide the belt and the other parts. All right, so there is her. Oh, I gotta color her shoes. Hold on. All right, so there's her shoes. Now I'm gonna take this tiny little printout of the knot. There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit of Stampin' Seal to the back of it. And I'm going to place it on her skirt, like there. So there is my little Irish step dancer in her dress. I'm not going to try and put some on her chest and or skirt. I'm just trying to represent the dress. So I'm going to flip her over and take some dimensionals. I'm actually going to take my snips and I'm going to cut some of the mini ones in half. And so I'm going to take some regular ones for her head and her body. There we go. And then these two halves I'm going to put down here on her feet. Oops, come here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right, on her feet. All right, and this is now going to go on this piece that we cut out with the rectangles in shaded spruce. Dun, dun, dun. Come on. All right. I'll leave this here. All right, so This is going to go here. Nope, let me pull you back out. All right, so this is going to go here. We're going to place this knot on here, and then we're going to put her here. But I want to put a greeting, and so I've printed out a greeting. Again, that's on your PDF. So there's a PDF in there with all these greetings, and basically the greeting is when Irish eyes are smiling, watch out. And if you're lucky enough to be Irish, you're lucky enough first. So I'm going to take my stamping trimmer, and I want to do the ones, if you're lucky enough to be Irish, you're lucky enough. I'm just going to line it up in my cutter, spin this around. So here is my, if you're lucky enough to be Irish, you're lucky enough. Cut this. We're custom sizing this. All right. So what I want to do is I want to put this in the middle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this here. Add a little seal. Oops, this is going this way. This is going to slide under. All right, that's where I want it. Turn this, so here it is. I'm going to turn it over and trim this. So there we go. Now I can attach my knot. There we go. I'm going to attach this with dimensionals. Find a bunch. I'm going to add this to the card base. Now again, I'm going to add some dimensionals behind my girl. And we're going right over the corner of the knot. And last but not least, we're going to put a few champagne rhinestones, because why not? And I'm just going to put them right up here in this corner. A large, a medium, and a small. There is my Irish step dancing card. So now, thank you for joining me, and I hope you watch all the other presentations. But I want to end mine with a video. This is a no music hornpipe. This was like I said, we didn't have a traditional performance this year, but we did get together to see what everyone had worked on over the year. So here, my daughter's in the center. She's the one with the white headband because they all have masks. And this is a no music hornpipe. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for joining me.